See, after all, MV Safeer, as I mentioned earlier, was a Panama registered ship, and they had impounded it. And once it is impounded, well, obviously there has to be diplomatic intervention, otherwise the authorities will not, the local authorities who took the decision to impound the ship, a foreign ship, will not let it, will not release it. So we had to get what I may call the governmental clearance for the release of the ship.
Now, what were your concerns about MV Safeer carrying passengers? Because the MV Safeer was a cargo ship and had accommodation and life-saving appliances only for 40 persons.
Yes, our concerns were, first of all, it was only a cargo ship. And for a cargo ship to carry passengers, obviously, there has to be some permission. And as far as we were concerned, the only authorities who could give that permission was our Ministry of Shipping. Secondly, the question of safety. There were not enough lifeboats or life jackets. And so we asked them to get as many lifeboats and life jackets as possible, but even then there was a shortage because the number of passengers was, I believe, around 700 or so, and the number of life jackets was much smaller, even after they got quite a few from the Indian Navy and otherwise. Therefore, I had to get a specific permission from our Ministry of Shipping permitting that they may carry passengers, which was got and conveyed.
So who gave the final green signal for MV Safeer to allow carriage of passengers?
Final green signal was given by the Ministry of External Affairs, but the Ministry of External Affairs gave that final green signal only after getting the green signal from the Ministry of Shipping.
Now, how and by whom were the passengers selected for this voyage to Dubai?
I can't say right now what was sort of the selection process, because this is something which we had left to our embassy there. We were not going to do any selection from here. And our approach was this: whosoever wanted to come by ship, whosoever was around, should be carried, and that there should be no sort of criteria of selection. Naturally, if there were so many people, too many people, the older people or women with small babes, lambs, it should be. But we did not impose any criteria from here, because sitting in Delhi, there was no question of our controlling it. So we left it to the embassy.
What were your concerns when the ship finally sailed from Kuwait and during the voyage to Dubai?
See, it's like this. By the time the United States had already taken a decision to resort to military resolution of the crisis, and American military presence was around, and we had to make sure that our ship will not be sort of, will not be attacked or stopped by on account of these reasons, the military maneuvers of the United States. So that was one concern. And of course, then we also had to make sure that they were received properly in Dubai, because so many people were coming into Dubai, they had no visa. So we had to make sure to get the permission from the authorities in Dubai, which all this was done by our embassy in Abu Dhabi and the Consulate General in Dubai. And I also remember telling them, and they were very, very nice. They immediately sort of also made available some provisions, and also generally the community was organized to receive these passengers.
What was your immediate reaction, Ambassador, when you heard that MV Safeer had reached Dubai safely and all passengers had disembarked?
In one word, relief.
there have been some, kind of comments by the captain of the ship, Juvale. And I put these comments to you and take your quick reaction. He said that he was responsible for getting permission from President Saddam Hussein to allow the ship to sail from Kuwait.
Well, I'm sorry to say that this is not a correct statement of facts as they happened.
He also said that the Indian Navy as well as the Indian government forbade him to carry any Indians on board, and he defied these orders and sailed out of Kuwait with 722 Indian nationals on his own responsibility.
Well, I repeat my earlier comment.
Captain Juvale further says that the Indian government was wanting to prosecute him for his actions.
I do not think that, I cannot remember that we had any intention of prosecuting him, nor did we take any action. And there's no reason.
For you to do anything
Yeah,
of that
yes,
sort?
yes.
Did you receive any complaints about any money being asked from the passengers on MV Safeer?
We never received any such complaint. In fact, the report that we got was that the operation was conducted in a very efficient and people-friendly manner, passenger-friendly manner.
This happened more than 26 years ago. Would you like to say something to the owners and crew of MV Safeer now for carrying out that heroic evacuation?
Well, I remember having written a letter to Captain K P Fabian about this, saluting the owners as well as the crew for the great work they did in evacuating such a large number of Indian nationals from an area where it was difficult, and in a manner which was done with such efficiency and diligence. So I had conveyed on behalf of Government of India our appreciation, and now that 26 springs have passed, I should like to reiterate, tell this same of my fellow citizens, that is the owners and the crew, that let us recall these adventures of ours as we grow in years, and let's also make sure that Indians, the young Indians of the day, get the correct picture of what happened in 1990.
So, do you think a message can go out to these people who helped this heroic evacuation, that the nation salutes you for this great national service?
That's right, and the nation owes them a debt of gratitude, and the nation hopes that may their tribe increase.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Pleasure.